this is the guy you need to know about. I'm pretty sure he's not a stranger to any of you reading the papers or looking at the television. He's none other than Mr. Winston Ragoo. And how exactly am I supposed to introduce you to the fans of the show?
Exactly, Winston Ragoo. Well, that's how the people know me as, really, Winston Ragoo. No other than that.
Well, Mr. Winston Ragoo, we have to find out exactly how your gift came about. What is your definition of a psychic? And then tell us a little bit about how you discovered that.
The definition of a psychic depends, is good or bad. But my own definition of psychic is being a good, giving good and spreading good to people out there to make sure that you can help them. Other psychics don't help you. They get you scared. They tell you things that you need to go and come back and tell you other things. But when people come to me, my definition is to help them, to make them aware of things that are happening around their surroundings. Things that it's about to happen that they need to know. They need some insight on their life and stuff. That's the definition of my part of psychic.
So you would say you're a bit of more intuitive person rather than a psychic?
Rather than a psychic. But what it does for me is I go back anyway. You want me to go 50 years, 40 years in people's life. Like every day people come to the office, I go right back like kind of 60, 70 years in people's life. But you got a little bit of it the other day too, right? and my friend there too as well.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't need anybody to see them, to talk to them. I just get them on the phone and I just talk to them. But I've done more than 4,000 people already in Trinidad. Started, was October last year. So now I've dated, I've over 3,500 persons I've spoken to in my office.
So we're taking a step back. When did you exactly realize that you had this gift?
Actually, I didn't realize until I found out I was traveling. I went to New York, the Coney Island in New York in the Broadway. And there I met somebody who did palm reading, which I'm always interested in getting palm reading done and horoscopes and stuff. And I went there and basically tried to get my palm read, and she said, you know what, I should start doing it for people, reading for them and going out there and trying to help them. And from there I just started doing my own thing. Because usually I have a business where I do, and I have a lot of employees. I tried to my employees, and then I started trying and traveling, and everywhere I go around the world, Dominica, anywhere from New York to England to Miami, wherever I went, I just started doing it. And not only psychic, I do tarot card reading too as well, which is even more fun.
Even more fun.
Even more fun.
So what is the process of tarot card reading exactly?
Well, everybody have different versions of psychic and tarot. For me, the tarot is basically what I tell you without the tarot card. The tarot card actually helps to show you a picture. People like to get a picture perfect something. You tell somebody something about their life and they say, well, you know, like next week you're going to travel. And they say, but I can't see me traveling. When they see it in a picture, they say, well, okay, right, I'm seeing the picture in front of me. The card is saying, you know, something like, they have a kind of a intuition that they're seeing something there, so they kind of get an idea of what it really is, then rather than you tell them.
Okay. And how does this affect your life exactly?
Doesn't.
It doesn't affect your life?
No, in no means at all.
Is it part of your everyday routine?
Yeah, it's just, but I've made it like this for the last 9 months. But I have my other business stores, which you know I'm not just psychic / businessman.
So for all the fans of the show, you need to tell them exactly what you do. What's your day job?
Well, my day job is I'm a businessman by profession. I had a truck company under Benz Transport, and obviously I do rentals and stuff on vehicles. Other business which I'm not going to say on air as it is. But it is, people know me as a business person. But since I started the psychic, I think there's a need, or I feel like there is something that I have a calling for, that I should be helping people. And I've been in an office in Woodbrook, number 58 Alberta Street, Woodbrook, for the past 9 months. Because if you've read The Guardian, The Express, The Newsday, I did TV6, CNC3, I did Majority, I did the Gael, you remember the Myron Ali lady I spoke to about that. I did a lot. And in my office now I've realized that helping people is what I feel like I should be doing now, rather than just going out there and doing, you know, just a normal psychic tarot card reading.
So just to share with you 2 of his past predictions that actually came to pass. One was, you know, the People's Partnership winning the elections. And he mentioned Myron Ali. He actually met with Myron Ali a mere month and 2 days or 3 days before she died, and you told her that she was sick.
Well, the thing about it is that intuition, what I get is intuition and my energy. I walk into the studio, I had a morning edition show with her, and it took me like a few seconds to know that she did an operation on her leg and nobody knew about it. And I told her like the operation didn't go well. Something happened to her, and I told her, you need to go to the doctor and do a checkup, and she started to laugh. And I told her, I said, if you don't go, probably in a month or 2 you could probably die. And she died in a month and 3 days. It was in front of her, you know, the whole staff was there, and they all called me and said, you know what, she didn't listen to you and stuff. But that's not what I want to do. I don't want to tell. What I do with my psychic reading is that I can tell you spiritually, physically, mentally, without even going to a doctor. People just come by me and I tell them everything about themselves. When they go by the doctor, they call me back, put it on my Facebook page and tell me exactly. Well, there's a lot of personal things I tell people too. And I think if I've helped more than 3,500 people, I think that's more than just 100% score.
Wow.
People know about me, eh? They know.
You mentioned your Facebook page, so tell us a little bit about your Facebook page. And I noticed there are a lot of testaments on your Facebook page with a lot of people thanking you for all that you've done. I actually went, after I met you, I went and checked out your Facebook page.
But I realized, I realized I did add you. What I did actually is that I've traveled around the world. I've been to Dominica and I saw this lady who does voodoo. I put it in the papers and I sat there and I talked to her. We spoke for a while. I bring in bananas. I was doing some import bananas from Dominica too as well. That's one of my other business. And that I mentioned, you know, that Haiti and all of Dominican Republic is riddled with voodoo and stuff. And I sat and I talked to this lady and I started finding out what it is really about. And I was managed to convert that lady after I left the Dominica. I spent a week in Dominica and she called me back and told me she started praying, because my psychic message is all about praying. The message that I get is about God, because people know me when I started off. No crystal balls, no dark rooms. If you come to my office, is where I work. I have an office in Woodbrook. There's no just candles and dark room and, you know, all this thing you hear about. The myth about hearing psychic, people get frightened. People who find out about the type of psychic that I do. I look at you for a couple of seconds, like I was telling you before, and I told you some things about yourself.
It's a bit scary sometimes for someone to walk up to you and know exactly what you're thinking. And this is the guy that does that. He met me mere minutes before this interview, and he told me, you know, there's a lot on your mind, a lot of thinking is going on right now, and that's exactly the case.
But sometimes what I do is, like, I told you some things on the side that I can't get in depth on here. But like again, your worker there too as well, the host there, the other girl, she called me yesterday for the interview. I was talking to her in my car on my way to purchase a bed. And she couldn't say to us, but she told you all, yeah, she did say to you that exactly. No.
Everything that was going on in her life. And she called me and she's kind of like shocked. She's like, I'm telling you, he's not a fluke. I spoke to him, we never met before, and this guy told me this and he told me that, and no one knows these things except me.
The thing about it is that what I did, I traveled all over the world and finding people to see what they can do and how they can help people. And I realized you go to a psychic, I spend a lot of money behind psychics trying to find out what it is and what's going on. They're never really able to help you. They'll tell you things that, some of the things they might tell you which it might has happened in your past, but it doesn't help you to move forward. What I did is when I started my psychic thing, I put up a Facebook page and I wanted the people out there to be the one to criticize what I do. If it's not good, you go up there, it's public, it's posted. You'll go there and you'll say something, what happened. And I think since the day I started to now, it's been good.
You have no reason to be scared because this is truly a gift. It's not like you're
I'm not worried about what I do, because I tell you, I've gone on every radio station on 96.1. All majority of radio stations I went, I have a radio talk program, 91.1 Talk City, for the last 8 months, till I got fed up. Every time I go on a radio station, I have 100 calls in an hour. Can't deal with all. I did a lot so far. I've helped a lot. People keep coming since last year I started. I have an office there where the book in my office is full. People waiting since last year for an appointment. Now I'm kind of like trying to come off the reading and do more outside work, help people. I've been on all these streets in Sandy Grande. I'm in New York, I'm in Miami. People ask me to come all up the islands to do it for them. Because when they hear what I do and the message that I give people is actually, in a matter of weeks, days, and months, everything I tell you comes to pass. And it's on there on the Facebook. I've done with a lot of business people in this country. There's a lot of people that come to me. And what I do, I'll tell you something physically that is wrong with you. And you'll go to a doctor and he'll tell you exactly what. I just tell you what it is, and people go, you know, male, female, children, anybody I've done. I mean, I did something on my Facebook page where I asked them to volunteer to my show. And I have hundreds of people who say they're willing to volunteer just to come and show. Because I have a road show coming on stream called Winston Ragoo Road Show, where I'll be going to different venues, like coming into, you know, Win TV here and doing all your stuff in seconds.
Wow.
You know, and that's the part, like, okay, you had your camera guy here. That he's a non-believer. I like the non-believers. And the tarot card reading, and what was his verdict on the tarot card reading?
He really enjoyed it. Even even up to today, when I just spoke to him, he told me, you know, he said so and so and so and so, and it's really, really true.
Well, that's because what I do, I go on the radio station and people call from anywhere. And I'm not even able to see a face. I just take a voice and I tell them about themselves, their career, their family life, their, you know, the relationship, their mother, father. Anybody you talk about, I'll be able to help you with it. But the message that I've given to people is a message that was helping. People think psychic is really evil, but it's not. When you sit with me for the first few minutes, you'll realize I start tapping into your brain and starting telling you things about your mother, your father, and make you comfortable. So it's not something I wouldn't tell you that is going to get you scared. I'm actually trying to make you aware of what your situations. I'll be able to tell you things that happened 50 years in your life, which I've done. My personal assistant, they will tell you. Everybody who come to my office, I ask them after, you know, well, she dealt with them and how, and the reviews are like, you know, it's crazy.
Your personal assistant with you through all these years, that says something by itself.
Yeah, well, you know, she started one, my girl Javel Marie, she started one of my first video, which people go up on my Facebook. They'll see her there. She was one of my first person that I've, you know, done. And she's going to be on my set with every one of the others I'm starting to do right now. And you know that these people, when you could bring out the emotional side of a person, you know that what you say to them and what you do has to be real. It's not the psychic people. You know, you call psychic hotline. You hear in Trinidad here, call a 1-800 number psychic in England. Are you really talking to a psychic? You're talking to an answering machine. A lady comes on. I have checked it. The majority of these psychics around the world, they read from a computer. The minute somebody asks you your date of birth and type in that, they can read. Anybody can type. I've done hundreds of people around the world. Tried out a lot of people. I don't ask you your date of birth. I don't even ask you a question. You realize I'll start telling you things and don't even know you. That's what makes the difference with me. I do it around the world. If you go on my Facebook page, you'll see China, India, Germany, New York, Miami, London, all through the tubes in London and New York. People call me because they heard what I have done. If people check out the articles that I've done with the Winston Ragoo, the first day I started, you'll see the reviews. I did 100 in the Guardian alone, in the Express, in the Newsday. And the people who don't know about me, who've been trying to get involved and trying to get on stream, what I'm doing now is opening something called a Winston Ragoo Foundation, which I'm going to give back to the people now, which I'm going to do the readings and everything to help now as a